We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united. And I can hear the Osagyefo saying, I do not want to be the leader of that country. I simply want unity. And I'm saying that we must live here with one united government. They listen not to the Osagyefo. And you know, they did not stop there, because their diabolical and subterranean hands were alive then. No sooner had we regained political independence, as we were celebrating our new national anthems, as we were celebrating our new flags, as we were celebrating our new mottos and slogans, the neo-colonizer was alive and well. In 1961, they had taken out Patrice Emery Lumumba. And I can remember that famous letter of Patrice Emery Lumumba written in 1961. One day, even if you kill my body, Africa shall write our history. Today we are here to write that history. I can hear, even as they took out Patrice Emery Lumumba, and in 1963 they took out Sylvanus Olympio in Togo. I can hear Sylvanus Olympio say, take me out, but Africa shall not be taken out. I'm here to remind us that Africa shall not be taken out. They did not stop there. In 1966, they took out the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah and took him out of power and thought that they had finished the Osagyefo. And I can hear and read the Osagyefo writing from Guinea in Conakry say, Africa shall never be enslaved again. We are here to remind them that we shall never be enslaved again. And they did not stop there. They went to Nigeria. And Nigeria, they took out the government of Nnamdi Azikiwe and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. And they thought that they had finished Nigeria. They did not, because Africa can never be finished. They did not stop there. They went to Mali and they thought that they had taken out Modibo Keita, and they thought that Mali would not be taken out. They did not take Mali out. They did not stop there. They went to Algeria and took out Ahmed Ben Bella, and they thought that Algeria would be taken out. They did not take Algeria out. But the neo-colonial project is alive and well, because even as that was happening, South Africa was still under the yoke of the apartheid regime. And I can hear the words of the great South Africans at that time as a young student. I can still remember the words of O.R. Tambo. I can still remember from Angola the words of Agostinho Neto. I can still remember the words of Eduardo Mondlane and Samora Moises Machel. I can still remember the words of Sam Nujoma and Andy Mbahaman Toivo ya Toivo from Namibia. I can still remember. And ultimately, you succeeded in removing the organ, the monster that was apartheid. In Zimbabwe, I can still remember Joshua Nkomo and Robert Mugabe, and they removed that monster that was the Ian Smith regime. But the question is, once we removed them, what did we do? This is the question. You know, when we remove them, we make unto ourselves many promises. We promise unto ourselves heavens, but sometimes it appears as if the devils in heaven conspired. and delivered hell instead of heaven. So that the story of Africa is a story of missed opportunities. We sing our national anthems as we should. We fly our flags as we should. We have our slogans as we should. But yet, we have fallen short of the expectations of both God and man. That is why, when I look at Africa today, sometimes I feel sad. And many are those times when I see young Africans from the Gambia, from Burkina Faso, from Chad, from Nigeria, from Ghana, being humiliated in Tunisia, being humiliated and dying in the Mediterranean Sea. I feel sad. I feel sad when young Africans are humiliated in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. I feel sad. I feel sad when young Africans are humiliated at the embassies of Western countries. I feel sad when young Africans play lottery to become citizens of the United States of America. I feel sad. I feel sad when young Africans think that grass is greener on the other side. I feel sad. I feel sad when the white man comes here and humiliates us. I feel sad. I feel sad when the Chinese come here and humiliate us. I feel sad. I know not whether you feel sad with me, but I'm inviting you to feel sad with me. I feel sad when our continent is abused by other civilizations. I feel sad. But for how long shall we merely feel sad? For how long shall we lament? For how long shall we mourn? For how long shall we agonize? For how long? This is why I understand the economic freedom fighters. This is why I'm here with you to celebrate your 10th anniversary. This is why I think you are doing the right thing. Because 10 years ago you made the correct diagnosis. You made the correct diagnosis. You discovered that they gave us the crown without the jewels. You discovered that they gave us an empty vessel. You discovered that political freedom in and of itself is empty. You discovered that you cannot, in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., ask a person with no legs and no boots to lift himself or herself by the bootstraps. You recognize that. You discovered that we must rediscover ourselves, that we must re-educate ourselves. You discovered and gave meaning to those famous words of the great Nigerian singer Femi Anikula Pokuti when he said, "Teacher, don't teach me nonsense because we have been taught nonsense for too long." You discovered and